I gotta tell you, I've always found it funny that no matter how many hilariously disastrous decisions the Walt Disney Company makes, they never seem to get knocked off their throne. Between the constant financial flops, creative misfires, and corporate missteps, the Walt Disney Company has definitely seen its ups and downs. And while this is always subject to change and more prominent in the film industry, I think the theme parks are no exception. I would definitely be completely lying if I told you that I wasn't mad at Walt Disney for what they're doing in the Magic Kingdom and in Epcot and in Hollywood Studios and in Animal Kingdom. Basically, across the entire Florida resort, they are making bad decisions. Now, believe me, I'm aware that it's kind of trendy to hate on Disney in the theme park world, but this is not a secret. I mean, everyone knows it. No one asked for a retheme of Splash Mountain, no one asked for a retheme of Rock and Roller Coaster, and no one asked for freaking Lightning McQueen at Magic Kingdom. Now, part of me completely understands why Disney has been doing this lately. Yeah, some of the parks needed updates. Some things had to go, especially Dino Land USA and Animal Kingdom. But not everything requires demolition, specifically Rivers of America. This was just unnecessary. Yeah, I know Universal and Disney are enemies, but if Disney ever took any advice from Universal, it would be about the Hulk roller coaster. They refurbished this entire thing. A brand new track and a brand new ride vehicle, and they did that instead of tearing it down and replacing it with something stupid. Now, before you get mad at me, I'm aware that there is more complications in doing this than just getting rid of a land and replacing it. Disney probably has a strategic plan going in place. Hopefully they do. But when you really think about it, nothing has been really going well for Disney. I mean, from the looks of it, Disney seems to be between a rock and a hard place. On one hand, they want to keep old attractions to preserve the nostalgia aspect of their parks, and on the other hand, they need to make changes, updates, and add new things to stay congruent with the ever-expanding theme park market. But Disney can't really do both of those things at the same time. I feel like for the longest time, Disney relied too heavily on their nostalgia when they knew in fact that they would have to make changes. And unfortunately, not a lot of people are fans of new Disney. Old Disney's too old. New Disney, no one likes. Now, I'd like to get to the main point of this video. Universal has been secretly outdoing Disney for the longest time, and Disney hasn't even noticed. Because of Disney's now list of long problems that they have to deal with, I feel like it's very noticeable that Universal has taken the lead, and more specifically, has taken advantage of Disney. I would argue that the Disney parks right now are at an all-time low, and because of this, Universal has now seized an important opportunity that they may not get again soon. So, how has Universal actually been outperforming Disney? Well, in multiple ways. First of all, Universal is quietly outperforming Disney in thrills. Actually, never mind. I take that one back. Universal has always outperformed Disney in thrills. It's definitely no secret to the theme park world that Universal has always been a thrill park. Between their multiple world-class roller coasters, plus adding the thrilling aspect to dark rides, and with now the recent addition of Hollywood Drift in California, and now one coming to Florida, Universal is definitely 100% outperforming Disney in this way. This next aspect is IP integration. Intellectual properties in theme parks have become one of the most common ways that theme parks have gained more attendance. And in some ways, you could look at this as Disney winning, because they were the ones who started IP integration into theme parks. But really, when you think about it, Universal is just way better at this. I mean, yeah, Disney has Mickey Mouse, Disney has Toy Story, but all of these IP integrations are just a mess around Disney's 4 parks. You have Toy Story in Magic Kingdom, then you have Toy Story in Hollywood Studios. One of them's just a ride, one of them's a land, one of them's in a themed land. Some rides are themed to movies, but not in themed lands like Guardians. It just gets confusing. Meanwhile, Universal, especially when considering Epic Universe, has mastered this. They've created themed lands with themed rides successfully across their parks. Universal's lands tend to focus tightly on one franchise at a time, keep visuals extremely consistent, and make sure to keep the entire thing extremely immersive. I feel like some ways Disney has tried to copy this, especially with Galaxy's Edge, and it has sort of worked out in that land, and they are trying to add new lands for Monsters, Inc., Cars, and Villains, but it's not really been working out for them lately. Maybe in the future they'll potentially be better at this, but as of right now, this is Universal's bread and butter. I mean, they do this so well. Another common problem with the Disney parks is they always seem slow to build. I mean, this is extremely common among the Disney Orlando resort. I mean, yeah, they're more careful, story first, and slower to roll out major changes. Universal, on the other hand, feels like it's constantly evolving. Disney sometimes feels like it's refining what it already exists. It's pretty funny to me that the second Rip Ride Rockit came down, they started construction on Hollywood Drift. And they've already announced that they're closing Supercharged. And heck, even at Epic Universe, there's already permits filed for a new attraction entering in Dark Universe. Now, I don't want to say that Disney hasn't made announcements for expansions. They have several expansions in the works, but they're just so slow to get this construction on with. It's not specifically that they have different construction companies or Disney has slower construction companies. Actually, most of the parks use the same construction companies. I think it's more that Universal for years has been the underdog, and they just have more fire under their belly. They're more willing to take risks, especially if it means dethroning the king Disney. Disney, on the other hand, is just way too comfortable where they're at. They take so long to put out new projects because they know that the public opinion doesn't really matter, because seemingly no matter what, people always go to Disney World. Universal builds with more aggression. You can definitely see this, especially when considering Epic Universe. I mean, the park was up really fast. It's estimated that it was built in 4 to 5 years. You know what else took 5 years to build? Tron Light Cycle Run. So yeah, in the same time that Disney built one roller coaster, Universal built an entire theme park with 11 rides, dining, 2 shows, and more attractions. And with theming that is considered to be some of the best theming out of any park on Earth. So I think Universal is definitely doing well. Now, to be fair to Disney, they were building this right inside of their theme park, which means they could only work within limited time. And also, construction was stopped right smack dab in the middle of building it because of COVID. But this doesn't change the fact that Universal built way more in the same amount of time. Disney seems too scared to change their public image, and I think this is the main reason why they take so long to build attractions. They don't want these attractions to be bad or ruin the Disney name, which is kind of funny considering that they've pretty much done that. I feel like the Disney execs are really careful about what they do, and even if modern Disney movies aren't as popular, I guess they're trying to stay true to the Disney name, and they're still going to use those movies. Universal, on the other hand, heck, just grab an intellectual property that's popular and use it. They don't care who made the movie, they'll use it no matter what. I think this is definitely why Universal is in some ways more popular than Disney, because they've just pulled from so many different film studios that they have such a wide variety. Disney, on the other hand, kind of has the same thematic elements that they've always used. It's always family-friendly, it's always well-intended, and there's like morals behind the stories. Universal, they don't seem to care. They find something that's popular, and they'll use it. Because really, when you think about it, Universal kind of has nothing to lose. They're always faster and more aggressive because they have nothing built up in the first place. They didn't really build up a signature fan base. They have more variety, and in some ways have outdone Disney a lot in this. I feel like Disney struggles more because they're just too tight-knit. They've built up trust with people that they seem to be too scared to break, and in doing so, they break it. A lot of the rethemes at the Disney parks are unpopular choices. A lot of them people don't prefer, yet Disney just doesn't want to do anything else because this is the formula that's always worked for them. Universal, they don't have a set-in-stone formula. 2 of their parks are connected by a shopping and dining location. One of their parks is out 10 minutes away from the other. Epic Universe technically isn't even in the Universal campus. Now, all of this isn't to say that Universal is bad for doing this. I don't think it's lazy or sloppy necessarily. I think that it's good strategically because Universal is now using more popular IPs and is more focused on giving the fans what they want. And they can still do it in an amazing package. I mean, Epic Universe is one of the most beautiful and well-themed parks I've ever been to. Islands of Adventure probably has the best ride lineup out of any Universal park ever. Universal Studios is about to get one of the best roller coasters in the world. And meanwhile, Disney's losing to Universal because they're too bluntly minded to listen to what their fans really want. They're too focused on what they used to do, and they're not doing it well now. The problem with Disney's main focus is it's always been on nostalgia, and nostalgia can only last so long. I mean, we see this clearly with Disney's signature rides. Haunted Mansion, Tower of Terror, Peter Pan. I mean, these things don't really age well, and they're not up to speed with the modern rides like the ones that Universal has put on. I think a good example of successfully doing nostalgia as well as keeping it modern is what Universal has done with the Monsters Unchained ride. Yeah, it's based on a really, really old movie, but Universal has found a way to successfully turn that into something that works. I know that Tokyo Disney Sea has kind of done a similar thing with their Peter Pan ride there. They've kind of turned it into a more modern version of it, and maybe this can work for the Magic Kingdom. I don't know exactly how Disney fans feel about this. I mean, I personally don't think it's a great idea. I don't love it, but it might be able to work. I'm not sure. But what I do know for sure is that Disney needs a new strategy because what they're doing right now hasn't been working. And what Universal has been doing has been working, so maybe Disney should take some tips from them. I hate to say it, but Disney lately has been feeling like hit or miss. And maybe they have some successes coming up with the new lands, but again, I feel like the more modern Disney stuff just hasn't been working. Now, while Universal still remains an underdog, they definitely have been up to speed with Disney, and in my opinion, I think they're better. But most things are subject to change, and who knows, maybe in a few years' time, Disney will regain its spot back at the top. But for now, I think Universal definitely has the upper hand when it comes to theme parks.